Hey, this is Richard, commissioner of the Favre Flip Floppin, and the matchups in the fantasy playoffs are pretty much over, and we believe we have a champion to crown. He's Will Moore. His team name is Woodhead. He's here to join us. Congratulations on winning, Will.
Thank you, Richard.
With your triumph in the fantasy football championship, Favre Flip Floppin, you have won the football trophy. It might be a soccer player kicking a soccer ball, but you know, punters, kickers, they're important. They're important in fantasy football, and you won this trophy. I won it last year. You won it this year. We're keeping it in the Moore household. What do you have to say about winning this thing?
You know, I would just like to thank some people right now, Richard. I would like to thank Jake Tammy. He was there when Dallas Clark went down. Jake Tammy said, hey, Will, pick me up. It was a good idea. Thank you, Jake Tammy. I'd also like to thank my cat, Howie.
Well, let me stop you there. Do you have Jacob Tammy's phone number?
Let's see. Why would you?
You just said he told you to pick him up.
Oh, he messaged me via Twitter.
Okay. Who else would you like to thank other than Jacob Tammy and your cat?
Well, my cat, Howie. I never finished that particular sentence, Richard. I was so rudely interrupted.
Well, please continue.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Well, Jake Tammy and Howie, let's see. Probably LaShawn McCoy, he stuck it out. He's probably an MVP of the season. That's about it, Richard.
Okay. Would you say that winning Favre Flip Floppin, one of the most competitive leagues in fantasy football history, with some competitive managers, competitive playoffs down the stretch, is this the happiest moment of your life?
Number 17, Richard.
I'm not really sure what the first 16 are, but it sounds like it's pretty high up there. So, congratulations again. Who would you say your team's MVP was this season?
Well, I was thinking about this earlier when you asked that question, but as I ponder on it some more, I still think it's LaShawn McCoy. I'm really sticking to that. Gun in my head, I would say LaShawn McCoy.
I don't remember asking that question before, but that's interesting.
I made it to my own question, Richard.
Okay, you said if you had a gun to your head, you'd pick McCoy.
Gun in my head, hands tied down, no homo.
Let me stop you there. Do you like getting tied down?
You rudely interrupted me again, Richard. I said no homo.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Last year, you had the most points in the regular season, and I snuck into the playoffs and won the championship. This year, I had the most points in the regular season, and you won the fantasy championship. Would you say it's better to finish with the most points in the regular season, or to fly under the radar?
Well, let's say you put the last 4 weeks together. I think it's important to finish the last 4 weeks with the most points. I don't know if I did that or not, but it might be important.
I think you're right. That is pretty important to do.
Better to finish strong than start strong.
Excellent point. Excellent point there, as always. You make excellent points. How are you going to spend your $100 this year?
That's what I'm doing right now, which I spent the last two or 3 days. I think about 49 hours maybe. I've calculated that I'm going to get 7 bags of Reese's, 2 bags of sour Skittles, 1 Kit Kat king size, 7 Dr. Peppers, the 2-liter, and then spend the rest, approximately $13, because all these bags of Reese's are really big, on strippers. $13 stripper.
What do you have these strippers do to you?
Well, they're only $13, so I'll probably just show up, ring the doorbell, and say hey, and then leave.
Okay, well, you have to be a pretty ugly stripper to get that for $13, but hey, all the power to you.
All the power to me, Richard.
Yeah, so what are you going to do for New Year's this year? How are you going to celebrate?
I'm going to attend the city. Actually, I'm not sure if it's a city, but I think it is Gatlinburg.
Oh, Gatlinburg, that's nice. A lot of times champions of leagues, of sports, go to Disneyland, Disney World. You chose to go to Gatlinburg. May I ask why?
I'm a very unique person, unique individual. I like to say unique.
Interesting. Go on.
When people like to be witnessed, I like to be.
Don't touch my shirt.
how you try not to touch it, but your nipple stuck out a little too far. But Gatlinburg, I like GAT. I mean, who doesn't go to GAT and then, fantasy football? Lynn, fantasy football champion, maybe fantasy Berg. If you're a fantasy football, fantasy baseball champion, I want you to go to Gatlinburg. I'll be there because I'll probably be a champion too.
Interesting. So I think that about wraps up our conversation with our champion Wilmore. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Oh, hot damn. This is not true.
Okay, we're going to cut you off right there. Well, that concludes our season in Favre Flip Floppin. First place is Wilmore with the trophy. Congratulate you again. Can you show the trophy to the audience again? Second place, looks like Carson's going to be second place. I probably will get third place. Joey's getting fourth place. And fifth place, well, who really cares? They don't matter anyway, So, that's going to put a wrap in the league, and we'll see you next year. Back to the studio.